Welcome to the Miami Report, a six-part series breaking down the most important real estate data in South Florida for the first quarter of 2026. I'm your host with the LRF Group, and in this episode we are looking at the big picture, what the numbers are telling us, where the market stands, and why South Florida continues to operate as an outlier from the rest of the United States. Regardless of what is happening nationally, rising rates, economic uncertainty, or geopolitical tension, South Florida keeps moving. This is not a new story. It has been the defining characteristic of this market for over a decade. The combination of population growth, wealth migration, and a favorable tax environment has created a real estate ecosystem that simply does not follow the national script. Let's start with the macro backdrop. In the summer of 2025, mortgage rates were hovering near 7%. By the end of the year, they had dropped nearly 100 basis points, landing just above 6%. Then, on March 1 of 2026, rates briefly touched 5.99, the first time below 6% in 3 years, and thousands of buyers rushed into the market. By the end of March, rates spiked back to 6.65% due to global conflict. As of today, they are settling back around 6.3% and trending downward again. Now let's talk about what that rate environment produced. Despite the volatility, Q1 2026 shattered records at the top of the market. Transactions above $10 million reached 212, nearly double the previous record of 111 set just 1 year ago. Transactions above $30 million hit 31, up from 14 in Q1 2025. And transactions above $50 million reached 6, doubling the prior record. South Florida's ultra-luxury market is not slowing down. It is accelerating. The strength is not limited to the ultra-luxury tier. In the $500,000 to $2 million range, the core of the South Florida market, 1,786 transactions closed in Q1 2026. That is the highest first quarter volume in the past 4 years, surpassing the 1,568 recorded in Q1 2025. In the $2 million to $10 million segment, 489 transactions closed, up sharply from 353 the year before. Across every price tier, the market is gaining momentum. On the single-family side, two things are happening simultaneously that signal a healthy, tightening market. Active listings dropped from 16,552 in Q1 2025 down to 13,993 in Q1 2026, a meaningful reduction in supply. At the same time, transactions increased from 8,111 to 9,754. Less inventory. More sales. That is the definition of a market with upward price pressure. Here is a breakdown that puts the inventory picture in sharp focus. Of the nearly 14,000 active single-family listings, only 141 are what the industry calls A-tier properties, waterfront, prime location, less than 15 years old, averaging $26 million. Another 2,000 are B-tier, non-waterfront prime homes averaging $12 million. The remaining 11,851 are C-tier properties averaging $1 million. This is where young families and primary residence buyers are finding their opportunities. The condo market tells a more nuanced story. Total active condo listings stand at 19,077, down from 23,000 in Q1 2025. But here is the critical detail: less than 10% of those listings are condos built within the last 10 years. When you isolate only new condos east of I-95, no daily rentals, there are just 1,537 active listings against 2,564 closed transactions in 2025. In Miami-Dade specifically, that translates to 9 months of supply. In Palm Beach County, just 3 months. The new condo market is far tighter than the headline number suggests. What the first quarter of 2026 tells us is this: South Florida real estate is not running on speculation. It is running on real demand, from people relocating permanently, from wealth migrating out of high-tax states, and from international buyers who see Miami as a global city. Florida added a record 1,350 new residents every single day in 2025. That is not a trend. That is a structural shift. And it is the foundation beneath every transaction in this market. Whether you are considering buying, selling, or investing in South Florida, understanding the data is the first step and having the right team is the second. If you are ready to make a real estate decision, reach out today to arrange a private consultation with the LRF Group. This message is brought to you by the LRF Group, licensed in Florida and New York, with offices in Miami and Manhattan. Scan the QR code to subscribe to our free weekly market updates. At LRF Group, our services for your world.